Welcome back, guitarists. In the last video, I showed how to change the behavior of the controller's foot switches, and that opened up a universe of possibilities. And what I can say is that in today's lesson, we're going to open up another vast range of possibilities that will really put you in command of your pedal board. To make the explanation a bit easier in today's video, the patch types for action, toggle action, and momentary, I'll just call them actions here, okay? To make the video easier to follow, instead of saying patch type, which I thought was a bit tedious in the last video. And in today's video, we're going to mix the reclick and hold functions with our actions there, with the foot settings, and see the countless possibilities that arise from this mix. Let's check out the tones we've already seen. We had a nice clean one, right? We had a drive. And we had a boost here. All right. But instead of using the action here on A3, why not put it on the reclick of A1? I'm going to set my bank A here to reclick to bank B. So the reclick function is calling bank B. And there on my B1, I put the boost that we had already configured in the last lesson. And now I have my clean on A1, and I have the reclick for my boost action. So I can also do this on A2, my drive. I can reclick for my boost action. And it's also possible to do this with the hold. Here in my bank A, holding for bank C, I'm going to call my chorus toggle action on C1, which we already configured in the last lesson. And so we have the clean on A1, the boost on the A1 reclick, and on the hold we have the chorus. That's very cool, right? Remember that now we're doing this for actions, okay? Instead of it being preset B1 and preset C1, we're calling the actions here that are on B1 and C1. The cool thing here is that a preset patch type can work with both the reclick and hold functions. Now, an action cannot work with the reclick function, but it can work with the hold function. And now we have clean on A1, a boost here on A3, and on the A3 hold, which calls C3, we call the chorus. It's a very cool example of the interactions between the reclick and hold functions along with the actions. For instance, an example people really like is here on D3. We have a delay where we've set a tap on D4, right? Where on D5 we had left a tuner. And the coolest part is that we can use a tap that holds for the tuner. So going back here to bank D, we configure bank D to call bank E when we hold it. And here on my D4 where I have the tap, I set the tuner on E4. So by holding down my tap, I'll have the tuner. So I have a delay here. Tap. On D4, and if I hold down D4, I call up the tuner. And this configuration of using tap with hold for a tuner is very useful. And also other possible interactions, we can use the bank up and bank down functions to trigger actions. Let's see an example here. I have my clean A1 here that you're already tired of hearing. I'll use my bank up here calling C1, which is a chorus, and I'll call my bank down here on B1, which is a boost. So we have a clean on A1 here. On the bank down we have a boost. And here we have the chorus. Alright, in this video here I showed very quickly how it's possible to interact actions with the reclick and hold functions. I didn't focus on giving very creative examples of use, but now that you know how to create the functions on your controller, your creativity is in charge. I've used my drive levels from 1 to 4 for a long time. For example, on 1 it was cleaner, then drive, and it reached a heavier level. On the reclick I had a boost. So it was clean with boost, drive with boost, exactly like that. And on the hold, I'd send a program change to, at the time it was my HX Stomp, and I'd select between 4 presets here on the HX Stomp, which were the ones I used, and then the modulations themselves that I called on the HX Stomp, I'd step on it directly. And that way I mapped my whole setup. I had the 4 gain levels I used, on the reclick the boost for solos, and through the hold I accessed 4 presets that I already had pre-selected on the HX with the modulations I used in certain songs. On my A5 I had the classic combination of tap with hold for the tuner, so I'd tap on 5, and if I held it, it called the tuner. bank up and bank down. I ended up not using, you see? And I used it that way for a long time. And this is a way you use action interactions with Reclick and Hold. An example I really like too is where you call presets for specific songs, where you can set, for example, a Reclick for Momentary, so you can have, for example, a solo tone. And when you press it on the Reclick, you add a fifth, you add a seventh, giving a very dramatic effect to the solo. And this example here to close the class, I'll even quickly configure it here so you can see how it looks. Here on my G1, I created a drive, okay? And my bank G is doing a Reclick to bank H. On H1, I created a Momentary, okay? My H1 is the Momentary that turns the time space on and off through CC0 commands. All right, so in a very summarized way, we have G1 here, and when I click it again, momentarily, it will turn the time space on and off, which has a pitch shift effect configured. And now let's see it in practice here. So this is already a more creative use of the function interactions. And now that you know about this possibility with the Saturn controller, I really hope you express yourself in a new way with your effects and can explore your beloved pedals much more. At this point in the game, you're already a Saturn master. And now, concluding this video, you've seen several Saturn configurations that will allow you to completely customize your pedal board control. You'll be able to explore your pedals much more, you'll be able to express yourself much more during the songs. The videos don't stop here. Saturn still has more features. And in the next video, we're going to see how to use Saturn with an expression pedal. And you'll see incredible features here in using an expression pedal to control the effect parameters of your pedals. So I'll see you in the next class and see you soon.